Hi, my name is Alex Schumann. I'm the Conservation Director at Aquidneck Land Trust, and we are standing at the Spruce Acres Pollinator Garden here on the Middletown Portsmouth line. This property we bought 5 or 6 years ago. It's 23 acres, and since we bought it, we've been making a number of improvements. We have a trail system, we have a picnic area. And one of the goals of the property is to really showcase what folks can do on their own property and restore habitat. So we were really thankful and excited when the People's Garden grant program became available. We've used it to build a brand new pollinator garden on site, as well as add on to our community garden and add some beds and blueberries in that space. The pollinator garden here has around 20 to 25 different species. The initial planning was around 150 plants or so, and we keep on building on it. And the great thing about the grant program is it gave us a pot of money where we could just implement a project, get it done, and now we have a great pollinator garden on site. So we're really thankful to the partners, the Eastern Rhode Island Conservation District and NRCS, for providing the funding for this great project. It not only provides habitat for lots of different pollinators, but it's a great learning opportunity for folks visiting the site.
People can kind of take this garden, get ideas from it, and maybe implement that in their own backyard. Get ideas for what flowers to use, get advice on how to do that. And you know, what we found is a lot of people are very, very interested in pollinators, and they want to help out in some way, you know, in their own backyard. And it's very easy for people to help pollinators.
Hi, I'm Amanda Ward. I'm a volunteer here at Norman Bird Sanctuary, and in 2017 I volunteered to redo the Good Gardens. So we brought it down to full-on ground, rebuilt it back up with 30 raised beds. We have 2 herbs sections, and then around the perimeter we have native plants. We have a great group of volunteers from Master Gardeners, which it became a Master Gardener project in 2017 also. And we both do education and demonstration. So the education side of camp kids and adult education, we've done compost, we've done potato planting, different kinds of companion planting. And then for demonstration, we have the raised beds, we make our own trellises. A couple years ago, I passed it off to Susanna. I took a board position, so I just am now a worker bee.
Through the funding that came through 2022, that's where we really added these components. This is a dedicated herb garden. There's over 30 varieties of herbs here, some edible flowers, and a lot of these are colonial. Part of our education in land management, land stewardship, is to control invasives and on the campus try to repurpose in order to educate the community about how to handle invasives and what else you can do to outcompete them. So that's how this all kind of took place through NRCS.
The People's Garden grant helped us establish new community garden plots, and that came at the perfect time. It was right during COVID, and a lot of people turned to being outside and growing their own food. So we were able to build 10 30 by 4 foot plots, and so these are all rented by individuals or households, and it's also just a really peaceful place to be as well. So this community garden project was made possible by the Eastern Rhode Island Conservation District, which connected us with People's Garden grant funding through the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, and we are just so grateful to have had that opportunity. And we know that they are really looking out for people that are trying to grow food in sustainable ways, and yeah, it's cool to see it all come to fruition.
So this is my third year here. I started with a raised bed that's much smaller, and my husband has a second bed. So between us, we have these two enormous beds, and we grow so much that we share with all our neighbors in Newport on the Point section. It's a beautiful place. It's so peaceful to be here. I come almost every day to water, but it's been raining. But we also just love to come and read and see other people, and there's a CSA here on Mondays and Wednesdays, and to just hear all the people come and be so appreciative of picking up their vegetables and talking to the Garmins. The Garmins are just wonderful. It's just a lovely place to be, and I'm so glad people are preserving these lands around the island, across the state. It really helps us.
This is my fourth year with this plot. There was a lottery 4 years ago. They expanded the garden by 10 plots. And I won the lottery. Not quite the lottery I was hoping to win, but nevertheless I won the lottery. And been very enthusiastic about it. It's fabulous to have a plot this length. It's 30 feet long and 4 feet wide. The length is sort of indeterminate, but the width is critical because you need to be able to reach into the middle from either side to plant things and to weed and that sort of stuff. So that's why it's only 4 feet wide. But it's a wonderful plot. It's a fabulous location, and it's just nice to have an abundance of fresh produce at home.
In like 2019, we got the grant for this, and then Kidder and I designed it over the winter of 2019. We had a slew of volunteers signed up to come in March of 2020 to help us build this, and then COVID happened, and so none of them came. And so Kidder and I, with her sister a little bit, and like a couple other random people, just built this entire garden from scratch. So yes, we planted it all up and kept it somewhat tamed for the first couple years, and kind of have let it do its thing now, where things just start, a lot of the plants are, they like to share themselves and spread themselves around and make themselves known. And so if you look around, you'll see bees everywhere. There's probably many different varieties of bees here. Anywhere from like the tiny sweat bees to the larger bumblebees. And so yeah, it was like really hard pan, not really, they had mineralized most of the farm. They had like, when they showed up in 2012, there was not a worm in the ground. There was like no life. There was no organic material in the ground. And now this farm is some of the best like soil around because of what has been happening from all the different people here, just like building the soil and everything. One of the best things about this here is that, yes, we have all these community gardeners, we have the Garmin farm, we have our farm, Hawk and Handsaw, here, and it's just a repository for all the pollinators to come and make all our food crops just that much better and that much more productive. And so having this as like kind of the entry for everything just really, yeah, it increases our viability and growing, so it's pretty terrific.